Hi.
Oh, and we lost her entirely. Shoot.
Okay. Well, we'll see if she pops back in. If not, Jason, it
Yep.
looks like you might have our undivided attention for a little while. So, Jason, my name's Kim. I'm in Nova Scotia, and I own Norse Cove Camping and Kayak Center with my husband on the eastern shore of Nova Scotia. We're right on the ocean. And I also own a media company called Flickr Media, where I do real estate marketing and some commercial drone video work and some photography, that sort of stuff. So I keep busy with that, and I've been with the Fire Circle for about 2 years now. And yeah, I think I really like the program. It wasn't around when I started my first business, and ended up doing a lot of work I probably wouldn't have had to do had I had the structure and the framework that Fire Circle puts in front of the of us here. So I hope you'll get a lot out of it. I don't know you, Jason, so if you want to just introduce yourself, I want to know, well, who you are, where you're at, and what your business is, and if it's running yet or not.
Yeah. I live on Quadra Island, on the west side. I'm opening up a fish charter business and yeah, it's like it could be running, but I'm hesitant about certain things because I'm waiting for something to happen. But it seems to be taking its sweet time, so I haven't really launched everything. My website is ready to go. My mobile website's ready to go. My Instagram and my Facebooks are running. All my socials are running. Um, I had an issue with, yeah, yeah, I'm ready to roll, but I'm just waiting for something that's gonna change the environment.
What are
And
you waiting for? You don't need to be vague. It's just us. And
I
actually, I have
I
worked with you before, Jason. I remember the Quadra Island and the tours. We talked about boat licensing
Yeah,
and yep.
I was gonna correct you. I was like, oh, I've worked with you before because I remember in another class you were my
Yes,
teacher, and I was like, oh, I remember, I know you.
absolutely. It's been a while.
Yeah, so yeah, I applied for this business loan,
Hmm.
and it was supposed to be like a little loan, like it was just supposed to be like $35,000, and I was like, yeah, I was happy with it, and then a friend of mine brought something to my attention, and I was like, yeah, like he had a point about like safety and about a whole bunch of other concerns, and I was like, yeah, I guess he was right. So talking to this NEDC people, it wound up going from 35,000 to 115,000, and I was like, what is going
Okay.
on right now? I'm like, what? So they're working on this project for me, I guess, and I've got my advertisements and like I'm ready to roll. But if this loan goes through, there's a new boat, a new structure, and it's all new. And then I have to go back to my digital marketer and say, dude, we got to revamp. And I know he's not going to be happy about it because he spent so much time working on it. And I'm like, oh man, I thank God he's a friend of mine because I don't know how he'd deal with it. So I'm apprehensive at right now. I'm apprehensive because I'm just like, everything's gonna change if it happens in a week. But if it doesn't happen for 60 days, then I'm like, yeah. So
Okay.
I'm lost in the whole fact of like, because I want to do some advertising and I've been pumping out like Fierce Fish like on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, and it's actually compiling. Like I put it out 3 weeks ago, and I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing. I just put it out there. I made some videos, made some clips, made some fishing clips, and all of a sudden I had over 1,800 views in the last 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, this is like this is it. And I didn't do anything. I didn't make an advertisement. I didn't campaign anything. I didn't do nothing. I just like, okay, I'm just gonna set this up. So now I'm like apprehended. My wife came to me and she's like, you do realize like over 150,000 visitors come to Quadra Island in the summer. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, you do realize that you're going to get something. Like it doesn't matter. You're even as one, you're going to get something. And I'm like, yes. And at this point in time, I'm just like, I'm worried to advertise,
Mhm.
and I'm just waiting for the structure to come in. And I'm just like, okay, what do I do here? Do I do the marketing? Do I do the advertisements? How do I keep this simple so that I can manage it? So that it's going to be something where I'm like, oh my God, I got 9 bookings in a day. How am I going to do this? Like, this is out of control. And I just don't want to put myself in that position. And then if I get another boat, I don't have a captain for the other boat. And then I got 2 boats, and I'm like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? And so I'm worried to advertise. I'm worried to do my marketing right now.
We'll talk about that. Yeah, that's very exciting. We'll have a little chat about that when we get to your operations and stuff. Gloria, welcome, and Grace, welcome back. I said I hadn't worked with anyone, and then Jason I worked with a few months ago. I totally blanked on that. I apologize. So Gloria and Grace, I don't think I've met either of you before. My name's Kim. I'm in Nova Scotia. I have a campground and kayak business there, as well as a media business that I run separately from that. And I've been with Fire Circle for a couple of years as a mentor, and I was in the middle of teaching a completely different class um, half an hour ago and got pulled to do this, which I'm kind of excited about. So, but I've taught this class before quite a few times as well, but the lady who was supposed to be teaching is having some big allergy problems right now because 'tis the season. So yeah, I backed out of the other class and went to do something in my greenhouse and disrupted a nest of squirrels. And still had to have lunch. I took pictures of the squirrel, rebuilt their nest. Hopefully the mom will go, I'm sure the mom will go back to them because she's kind of a local and she's not overly afraid of us or anything. But so yeah, that was my half an hour transition. It was great. And that's what business ownership is all about, I'll tell you, because you do one thing and then something else happens and something else happens and then you carry on and you we call it F forward as you just keep pushing and keep going. And yeah, that's it. So from Grace, could you just introduce yourself, tell me where you're at and what your business is and whether or not it's up and running yet, or if you're still in the planning phase?
Okay, so my name is Grace Daboski. I am located on Manitoulin Island in Northern Ontario, and I am at the launch phase of my business. So I want to start taking, I need to start taking bookings prior, but I am going to offer services in July, starting in July.
Okay, what is your business? What services are you?
Oh, sorry, I'm going to be offering my cousin's just sending me a bunch of messages on my phone. I'm offering sauna experiences in my area. One is just a private rental booking. The second is a guided experience.
Hey, excellent. That's exciting. Thank you. Gloria, same to you. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Gloria. I'm supposed to be opening a coffee shop in up to a month, right before the street fair. And I am like Jason. Let's not do media, but I am going to trade shows and I'm going to women supporting women entrepreneur workshops and trying to do put myself out there, even if I'm reading from something and explaining where I am, what I'm doing, and where I'm going to be in. That's about it. I am struggling with doing the POS and applying for the PST because it's a whole different language. So it should be fun, they said.
So I'm sorry, you're in Quebec?
No, I'm in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan.
Oh, Prince, a whole different language.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it now.
So I'll be listening in, and I appreciate all the advice from everybody. Thank you.
Okay. That's great. Wow, exciting times for everyone right now. Our topic today is operations, so we can kind of go through it. It might be a little bit of hypothetical, and it might be a little bit of what it's really going to look like. So this portion, and I'm not, we don't if we get off on different topics, it's quite all right. We have other things that we can chat about too if the other things are more important. So we kind of look at a day in the life of your operations. Has everyone gone through that section yet in 3 where you've watched the video of Elliot's Cafe and everyone's seen that? Yeah, okay. So that's actually a really good. Oh, does everyone know Gina? I'm pointing here because she's this side of me. Everyone knows Gina. Okay, fair enough then. I figured because everyone knows Gina. So a day in your life of your business, that can be the more complex. So when we look at food services like that, the fact that you're getting up and what I found was very interesting with that is the getting up at 5 in the morning and still going like after dinner. Obviously, he's got other people, he's got other players involved in that, but it is that's what your business is like. So when you go through those worksheets, you'll notice that it's talking about everything from your emails to picking up things to what you're going to do. And the reason we want to write out that day in the life of and the operations, one of the things that I find most I guess riveting with that is finding out what I don't like doing and what takes too much of my time. So, for example, if you hate doing social media marketing, how much time are you spending with it? How good are you at it? And is it going to kill you to pay somebody else 25 bucks an hour to do that? Or your bookkeeping, or your cleaning, or something that's involved in your business. So when you go through all of those and you write down what a day in the life is and your operations looks like, that is something to keep in mind is this something when you're saying, oh, this is going to take me 4 hours? Does it need to take you 4 hours or can it take somebody else 1 hour for $25 or 2 hours or whatever? So think about that with all aspects. As small business entrepreneurs, we tend to try to do everything. And that's what we have to do to start with. But at some point, when you can afford to and when you can't afford not to, you're going to look at bringing other people into your business to do certain things in that day in the life of your business. So like with Elliot there on the cafe, I would say that yeah, if he's the chef, he's probably going to want to go out in the morning and pick his own produce and stuff. He's going to want to do the meal planning and stuff. But does he really need to be around for afternoon cleanup or after the services are done and in between and that sort of stuff, right? And is he doing his own bookkeeping or does he have an accountant or a bookkeeper doing that? And is he doing his own marketing? So yeah. So, so you guys have already been through this section for the most part? Okay, great then. Jason, tell me what a day in the life of a boat operator looks like. And let's talk about things that are important and not important and that sort of thing.
For me, it would be getting up at 5:30, getting the boat in the water by 6, having the clients arrive by 7, and then making sure, like, well, I guess like getting up at 5, making sure the boat is gassed up, making sure the motors run, doing a test sea trial to make sure that everything's in working order, check all my safety gear, check everything that I need to make, and then run through my list of where we're going to go, my chart plotting, where we're going to head to, if they want to do whale watching, or if it's a fishing charter or whale charter, or if it's just an outdoor excursion. Yeah, and they get on the boat and away we go. And in my small boat, it's very simple because it's a small boat, so I only can take like 3 people. So it's very easy to maintain. So that aspect of it is very simple for me because it's really easy to take care of. My bigger problem is if I got a second boat, and that's where my day in my life goes. What are you doing? So you can't drive 2 boats at once. So what are you thinking?
For a little while. Okay, so that was just really quick rundown of your day in the life. When are you checking your emails and responding to clients?
Well, I got to do that every night, the night before.
Okay.
Yeah. So the night before I do all my because my bookings are all set up, so they just get emailed to me. So
Mhm.
I just like my booking system is all set up on my website. So they book the time comes to me, and then I can organize my day through that.
Do you have waivers built into your bookings online?
Well, because of the fact that the waivers are only applicable to Transport Canada in the fact that if I'm running over 16 feet and if I'm running a motor over 10 horsepower, and because um, it's an adventure tour, like it's an adventure tour program, so I don't have to actually have waivers for that point because if I'm doing like a camping trip or if I'm doing like whale watching or whatever, it's not needed for waivers and that stuff as long as the liability and the insurance is in place on the boat. So as
Okay.
long as I'm covered for 250,000 per person, and then I'm covered for, so I only can take 3 people, so that's only like 750,000 that I have to be covered for. The bigger boat's a little different because I got to have 2 million on it. So yeah, it's just a matter of like maintaining like a good paper trail, and then I don't actually do any of my social media, so I have someone who does my social media for me.
Okay.
um and then yeah, I've made it pretty simple. Like I've simplified everything down to like very simple, very inline. It's just an order, a
Good.
standard of procedure, I guess, an SOP. So
Good. Excellent. Um, as far as not needing waivers, I'm going to just ask that you look into that again, even if
I
you don't.
did. I was on the Transport Canada website in the Maritime Marine
Okay. Yeah,
1.6.2.
I know.
Yeah,
But
I've
if
already done
some,
it.
okay,
That's how I got the insurance. So
okay.
that's why I
No,
got the
that's fine.
insurance
But
on
if
the boat.
I'm just saying, if somebody sues you, it's going to cost you $4,000 and a lawyer before Transport Canada even makes a decision on anything. So,
Right. But that's what the liability insurance is for through a privateer, right? So for us here on Maritimes for the
mhm,
boat, my boat's not over 16 feet.
mhm,
So that's the one thing where I'm I kind of kept everything small so that I didn't
yeah,
have to fork out a lot of money.
yeah,
So I've kept everything under the fact where I don't have to license the boat. I don't have to do that sort of procedure. The only time I have to sign a waiver is when we're fishing. So when I get a fishing charter done, then it's a whole different ball game for me doing a fishing charter than it is a whale watching tour.
yeah, yeah, because you're going to need permits and stuff for fishing. Or you won't need a permit, will you?
No, I don't
This
need
coastal
anything, just a
waters.
title license. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just need title license. Yeah. So that's all on my website. So they can access all that from my website. So they get their title license for fishing and they get all that stuff right off my website.
Mhm. Okay. What else was I thinking of? Oh, when are you doing your weather checks?
I do my weather checks pretty much every day. Like it's posted on my website. So my website, you can just click the link and the weather's put up every single day.
Okay, so that's handled by your guy who's doing the website?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So for your weather checks for your trip and your chart plotting and that sort of thing?
Yeah. You only can like because where I live right now, fishing's not very good. So you can't fish
Okay,
any salmon right now. So
okay.
you
What
only
do you
can fish
fish for there?
halibut, lingcod,
Mm,
rockfish, like anything but no salmon till next year. So you can't fish any salmon this year in the Campbell River area. And if you want to fish salmon, you have to go like 4 or 5 hours out of Vancouver Island. So it's
okay.
not really
So
worth it for
you are
anybody to
doing
go.
everything in the ocean though, right?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Well, good. And when you said you have to figure out what you're going to make, what did you mean by that? Is that food or is that?
Yeah, like I've been tossing up and things. Like there's a whole bunch of uh like there's a whole bunch of small kitchens here, like Farm to Table, Aroma Cafe. There's all these places, like small places. And a friend of mine was on a shark fishing tour, and he had a horrible. His story was like, oh God, I wouldn't like. He was on the boat for 7 hours. They didn't catch a fish. They didn't have coffee, hot chocolate. There was nothing. It was a miserable day. He said it was a horrible day, raining. They recovered. They weren't wet or anything, but they had nothing to eat, nothing to drink. He had said nothing. And I was like, oh God, that would suck. Like that would definitely suck if you're on a charter for 6 to 7 hours and there's like you didn't prep or you thought that the owner was going to have something on the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
just has to be made clear either way. You either have to let them know to pack a lunch, so that can be done with you can
that's on
actually
my
set it up
website.
as
Yeah.
an automatic. Once they've booked, they get an automatic letter saying this is what you need to bring and prepare
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
So, just so long as they know.
My thing with those, a privacy policy, my refund policy is pretty self-explanatory. Like if the waves are over 1.5 feet for the little boat anyway, like for the 16-foot boat, if it's over 1.5 feet and the swells are 2 seconds apart, I'm like, it's not worth going because it's not fun. It's not fun to be rocking in a boat and like have the current sweep you away for miles when you're trying to bottom fish. This doesn't make sense, right? So my refund policy is pretty self-explanatory for that. And then it kind of bleeds into like, do you want to do whale watching? Do you want to do scenic tour? We can rebook. So I have that part of it. But my
Good.
privacy, I don't know if I need a privacy policy or if
Oh, no, I had asked about just sending out an email for just to let people know what they need to bring.
right.
Yeah.
So, but do I
And as
put
far as,
in that email,
Mhm.
do I put
Yeah,
refund policy, privacy policy?
yeah,
Like, do I put all
absolutely.
that information in that
Yeah, the
email?
first response one, privacy policy would be if you're going to be taking pictures of people, you're going to want something stated in that letter as well. So
Okay.
that way you don't have to, I mean, I always say, do you mind if I use this on social media or something? And they'll say, yeah, it's fine. Don't take pictures of kids. That's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
But yeah, for privacy policy, you just say any pictures that we take may be used in social media. Please let us know if you have a problem with that or something, right? So yeah,
Gotcha.
just set it up and set it up as automated so that it goes out automatically when they book, like a receipt for what they
Yeah.
paid. They get all this
Yeah.
information. So
Do you get people to pay rate like up like when they book? Do they pay
yeah.
for the whole thing when they book? Like, is that how like, yeah,
Yeah, you can do if I have big books or big group bookings or they're trying to put together payments or something, I'll let them do a 50% down and then 50% 3 weeks the other balance 3 weeks before. So my
right,
cancellation policy is 5 days, unless there's inclement weather or weather that they're not comfortable with. And then
right.
I allow either rebooking or a refund. If I cancel it because of weather, then I refund it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking too, is my thing. Yeah.
yeah. I just
Cool.
try to
Does
automate a
that
lot of these things with your
yeah,
day in the life of.
so that eliminates like Square, like you know what I mean? Like that eliminates like having to charge them on the boat. Like like that's what I'm trying to get rid of is I don't want to be doing that, carrying Square, having Wi-Fi, you know what I mean, having to deal with that whole situation.
Yeah.
So
Have it
I
done
was
ahead of
like,
time. Have them book it ahead of time. The only
okay,
place that you possibly lose on that is if people pay after their tour, then they might tip you. So, but
right,
they might tip you because you can give a tip option right in the point of sale. But
right,
if you're, I mean, otherwise it's okay. They could give a cash tip, or if you're charging them enough, it's not really a thing anyway. You can even put something like any tips would be donated to Nature's Trust or something like that as well, right?
gotcha. Yeah, I
Yeah, so
got
that's
that.
options, but those are things that people don't tip usually until after they've had the service.
Yeah,
So sometimes, again, with a bigger booking, or if I'm sending some of my guides out, I'll allow a 50% payment and the other 50% after they get back from it, and I'll leave a tip option on so that the guide gets a tip. Yeah.
gotcha.
Okay. So that's about the only con to not getting the money up front. The other thing is
Right.
don't spend it if you might have to refund it. So
Yeah, no, that's right. That's the key. Yeah, no, for sure.
yeah. Well, that's great.
So,
That's good information.
yeah.
Um, Grace, do you want to give it a go?
Okay. My question would be regarding, I'm setting up a website. I have a booking tool, a reservation online booking tool embedded in there.
Mhm,
And I'm also going to be using Smart Waiver, I
mhm.
figure, this time around. And I'm just wondering, after a booking is done, is there a way for the automation of, say, the follow-up, not the email where it says, okay, this is your receipt based on booking, but the email of here's what to expect.
Yeah.
Does that have to be an integration to have that happen? Or is there a software suite that I could purchase and it's just all in one?
Okay, so there are a couple of ways. It depends on what booking software you're using. Some of them have it and some don't. And you can set up any of these things to send out the receipt right away and any information you want on there. And then you can have it send something out like a week before, 3 days before, a what to expect right afterwards, and a thank you note after they've visited their experience, which could also ask for a Google review or something like that on that. Or, here's a 10% to bring back a friend or something. So you can set it up. Most booking systems, you can set up to automate all of those for you. Short of that, you would have to do a trigger. Like you could set up a suite in Google or I know you can do it with Google, but you'd have to trigger it with the people and just say start these for this person. You know what I mean? That's- Which
Okay, yeah.
booking software are you using?
It's Canadian made, so it's called Booker. It's one that the destination management organization use. So I wasn't sure if that specifically had the automated emails included in it because I don't want to be triggering anything and I don't know
Right.
how to do it and I don't want to be integrating an integration tool to tell something else to do something. That's not what I do. I did look at one software. It was called Checkfront, or I
Yeah.
think it's called Checkfront.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Checkfront
so
is Canadian based as well. And I know they have, you can set it up with, you can set automations up with Checkfront.
yes,
Um,
and the built-in waiver. So I
Yeah.
didn't actually get a demo with them because I needed to have a live website, and my website isn't live yet.
Okay, yes, yeah, for them to, because it gets put in as an embedded. Yeah. So ask them about that. What I found, I was with Checkfront before and I did switch. And the reason I switched was because it was handling my accommodations really well, but it was not handling my kayak tours well and rentals. So I needed a whole, how many kayaks are out and how many, like a list of how the staff are managing that. And same thing, I tried ResNexus and they were going to charge me like it was a night for every kayak rental. So it was a ridiculous amount of money. So I've gone with a system that is more, it's unfortunately not Canadian, but the Canadian ones couldn't really do what I needed. So I use Flybook now, and that one has a lot of automations in it as well. And Flybook was built around tours and experiences and adventure tourism first, and then they added on the lodging, rather than a lot of them do it the other way around, lodging and then adding on the experiences. So but yeah, depending on what you need and what your quantity is, like if you've got,
Yeah, so for,
Right.
and then the other one that I was going to bring up was I heard of Flybook, I haven't checked it out, was Fair Harbor. There's
Yeah.
another in Saskatchewan, Fair Harbor.
Fair Harbor work is good. They do charge a per booking thing, and I did the math, and it was going to cost me thousands of dollars per month in the summer, but it doesn't charge you much in the winter. So, and that money they charge back to your client. They add on the booking charge there, so there's no charge to you per se, but they're increasing the cost of your rental or your bookings. Some people don't like that. I personally don't like that. I feel it's a cost of doing business, so I wanted to keep that myself. That's my cost of doing business. If you've only got a few places, then something like Fair Harbor would probably be better, because if you look at these other ones, or a few experiences or places, sauna. So you're not looking for, because it's a sauna experience. Is there overnight involved or?
No,
Yeah.
not at this point. So I have one sauna,
Mm-hmm.
and so my inventory would be a private booking. There's two options. So on, say, Saturday, there's two times you could choose from. And on the same Saturday, you could also use a guided experience, and there's 6 tickets available for purchase for that experience.
Okay. Yeah, something like Fair Harbor or something that's going to charge you a per experience is going to be more beneficial, because a lot of them have a minimum monthly that'll give you up to 25 or something, like 25 items. So it could be 25 items a night or 25 items a day. I'm not saying like 25 single experiences. So whereas you have 2 right now, you want to look at something that's going to charge you for 2 things and not 25 things.
Okay.
So,
Because I know Booker right now, they're set up for accommodations,
mhm.
but they're working to to get it set up for events and experiences by the end of the summer. So I don't think that could fit. It might work if I, like what you said, booking each experience as sort of a one-off event type thing for the day. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying not to get the booking and then have to send out the waiver link and then send out these emails. That's not what I want to do. So I'm kind of, did you say that Flybook can send out automations?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I will look into that. 'Cause I,
Yeah, look into the Flybook. I can
Mhm.
tell you, I love the way it runs and everything. Their back office, though, steep friggin' learning curve. I'll tell you that. But once you have
Okay.
it running, it's fine. But yeah, I've had a lot of, oh my gosh, how do I do this? How do I do this? Whereas some of the other ones were a little more user friendly in the back office. But for the price and the fact that it is based on experiences and added on the lodging, I find for me it's working really well because it'll actually even give you a question that you can shoot questions to them as well. So if somebody wants to rent a kayak, it's going to say, are you over 18? It's going to ask for experience level and all these other things. And then it'll say either we need to call you back or it'll let you continue with the booking. And then the waiver's sent to them, the waiver's stored automatically online. They get their first email response after the booking. The second email response is a reminder. I think it's set up for 5 or 7 days before they get here. And it's exactly what I was talking about. What to bring, where to check weather, the fact that I'll be touching base with them a couple days before about the weather and everything, whether everything's a go. In the questionnaire, it also asks them all the other questions like who do we contact in the case of an emergency? Like all of that's all handled, including the payment, and it's all stored online. So I don't have a huge pile of papers somewhere. So for that, it's been really great. And then, like I said, it sends out another email right after, like after you've had the experience and said, how was it? If you have any feedback for us, great. Is there anything else we can do? Great. Here's how you can reach us. And if you want to leave a review on Google or Facebook or anything like that, here's our information and links. And at some point during the booking, I also ask if they want to be on the mailing list. And then because I run a mailing list as well, send out information.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I like it for all those automations. It works really well.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the piece that I'm building now. I mean, it might not be too work if I'm only offering it on Saturdays and Sundays for the summer. So it would only be,
Yeah, they would all work still.
it'd be only three experiences that I could do the admin for,
Mhm.
but I want to build it so that I don't have to do that.
Automate as much as you can.
Yeah.
Honestly, for things like that, there's nothing worse than writing the same email or, doing this because, okay, what if you forget to do it? What if you're now going, oh my gosh, did I send that email? I can't remember. You're spending a lot of time and energy doing things, and we're looking at our operation, our day in the life of how much
Mhm.
time can you save through just automating some things like that? So I
Yeah.
agree. Start with 2 and do it properly, and then you can build on that, right?
Yeah. So my day in the life would be all the experiences are booked in advance. They're paid in full in advance. The waivers are signed in advance. And then I would just show up, haul this on over to the site because I will tow it home after every weekend and set it up, launch the fire, offer the experience, and then the 2 afternoon bookings. So the sauna's already fired up. And just prepping in between each booking time. So my day would start. I don't have the times yet. I can't remember. I switched them, but
Okay.
it's like 9 to 4 because I'm still
That's
taking
damn
control of
good.
my evenings.
Good for
I am not
you.
working past 5 o'clock.
Mhm.
And
What if
I do also,
somebody calls you at 8 o'clock at night and says that the sauna's not working?
they're going to be out of it by 4.
Oh, so you don't leave it for the weekend somewhere. You were talking about leaving.
No, they're coming to my site to have the
Okay.
experience.
Okay.
And then They go from 2 to 4 and they get out and I shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't rent it for people to use at their own event or anything like that yet?
No, I don't want to deal with damaged property and
Fair.
party
Yeah,
the sauna.
good call.
Not my gig.
Okay, that's great. And
Yeah.
email's the same thing. You can start automating responses for that with Genesis and Google and stuff. That's getting even easier. Watch it for a little while, but you can set it up so any of your frequently asked questions, even if they're already answered on your website, people are still going to send you an email and ask. I can guarantee it. They always
Okay.
do.
Yeah. And that's my goal as well as for my website is to put as much FAQs on there that I can think of, and then having a really detailed itinerary posted on
Mhm.
the site. So if this is what you're paying for, this is exactly what you're getting
Good.
in the time slot that you're going to be here for.
Perfect.
Very simple. The experience is you just come with, you bring your own, like your bathing suit and a towel and some flip-flops. And I just have the water and the wood there for you to sauna, really. And then the experience itself it's small scale for right now. It's sort of like a snack and a tea that I would have for that 90-minute experience.
Good.
Guiding through that. Yeah. So it's
Good.
one guided in the day and 2 private bookings where I just come greet you, show you around, leave you be, clean up after you're done, and then the next person would come in about an hour later, if
Perfect.
they're it.
Yeah.
So I did talk to my local DMO, and they
Mhm.
do have somebody 3 hours from me, actually 3.5 hours from me, who offers something similar, but it's more sauna, cold plunge, yoga, breathing. They do certain events and they pre-sell their tickets, and they only do it so often that they're already pre-sold in the season.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty good because I didn't know that in my region. And I know on Manitoulin, you don't really have that option. We don't have spas and all of that kind of stuff here. And a
Yeah.
lot of places are electric saunas.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm wanting to do is something different with what I'm going to be throwing on it.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for
Not
you.
just water that's being poured in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you pouring in there?
I am pouring in teas that grow on the island,
Okay.
and that's what would be sweated. That's what you're going to be sweating in.
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
going to be a cleansing.
Yeah, it's more of a cleansing
I like
experience.
it.
The
I like
guided one is, the regular one is just water.
Mhm. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I also tried to build this. Initially, I was going to be full-time, and
Mhm.
then life changed and things happened. So I'm launching it now as just on the weekends, but year round,
Mhm.
and just not built also on my energy and how much I can give
It's good to
to this
figure out what it
experience.
is. It's good to not put yourself so you're completely overtaxed and then
Yeah.
doing it and nobody's enjoying it. So I think it's a very responsible way to start it up, and then you just kind of you can grow with it if or leave it the
Yes.
way, right?
And my goal is to grow with and add additional guides
Mhm.
to also lead the experiences so that it's not fully dependent on me
Mhm. Good. That's
to do
perfect.
that. And then I have some expansion plans planned, but that's not this year. This year's just the sauna experiences.
Baby steps. That's great, Grace. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. I think it's gonna be great. Gloria, you're up. Gloria. Is Gloria still here?
I think Gloria might have just been listening into all these great
Oh,
ideas and just she's
oh, okay.
processing them and compiling them as she's
That's
working on her
fine.
coffee shop. So good conversation. I know she's benefiting.
Oh, no. Okay, that's great. Okay, so Gloria,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I see that you're at work. Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate it. Okay, so we'll go to well, Jason and Grace. Then, do either of you, after listening to the other person's experience and what they're building, do either of you have any feedback for each other or any as a tourist? If you were going to Grace's experience, Jason, what would you like to see, or what would you think that she might have to take into consideration?
Um, for me, it's I don't know because we have a lot of those on Vancouver Island, and so um, I always see them traveling. I never see them. There's never like a place to go, but like on like here on Quadra Island, we have 4 or 5 like song baths and like so like you can do it here, but it's more indigenous related, so it's more like a sweat lodge. It's more like guided for it's more of an indigenous takeoff and more deeply rooted, so it's like a 4 or 5 hour session that you wind up um kind of like in a group thing, and there's like 2 or 3 guides. Like my wife's been to like one and there was 2 or 3 guides. There was 8 people. It was a big sauna, like a quite a big sauna, and they would do like the sage and then do like the herbal stuff. So for me, I'd like to like see the personalized experience kind of reflected to, I guess like an individual person. Like if I was coming to be cleansed, or if I had a problem, like if I was feeling sick, or if I was feeling like, oh, I have ailments, or do you know what I mean? I'd want an explanation of what your teas would do before I went. Like, why am I coming to do the tea thing before? Like, what's the purpose of this?
That'd be
Other than
interesting for your email going out, Grace, like your stuff that goes out ahead of time. Do you give more information on the tea that you're growing and harvesting and what it's going to do?
Yes, that would be part of, and that's why it's a specialized experience
Love it.
because that's what you're paying to participate in.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's very exciting. I would like something, I think the thing that Jason's talking about is interesting, but if it were me, because I don't like to be around a lot of people, and the same thing, I'd want to know, I'd want the personalized experience and stuff. But yeah, that's I would way rather go to yours than anything that was too big and too long. Oh my gosh. I couldn't imagine sitting in a sweat lodge for 4 to 6 hours. I would have a stroke, I'm pretty sure. My blood pressure, because you vasodilate, right? It would all be bad. It would be very
you,
bad.
that's the thing. You should jump into the ocean. So they do like a half
Oh,
hour
so then you get
session.
a
You
heart
can do it.
attack instead.
Yeah, and then you go to the ocean or whatever, and then you come back, and then you sit, and like it was. My wife was okay. Like it was a weird experience because the Quadra is very hippie. It's very, very, very
Mm,
hippie. So a lot of people say that they're qualified to do something, but then when you do your research, they're not registered. They're just some dude who went into an ayahuasca ceremony who thought I can do this, right? And then you're like, okay, like great. Like yeah. So some places are good. So for me, it's like a personalized experience would be like my credentials. What makes me good at this? What makes me like, what are
absolutely.
my credentials to actually do this? Like, that's what I would be looking at. Because I know it's looked at here. Like, a lot of people don't make good business here because they lived on the island for 50 years and they just thought that they would try this or whatever, or they went to one and thought, oh, this is a good idea. I'm gonna bring it to the island. And then you get there and it's like we went to a song bath and this woman was like screaming at the top of her lungs as you were trying to like relax and try to meditate and stuff. And she's like doing weird stuff. And like it did state that on the website. It didn't like there was nothing implemented to
Nothing
be like
said,
what
I'm going to do weird stuff and
yeah,
screaming.
like it was like yeah, it was like you sit there and they were like screaming. Like she was like screaming at the top of her lungs. Like it was like, what is relaxing about this? Like what is going on right now? Like am I at a Ozzy Osbourne concert, or like what's up here? And so that's where the website did not explain what it actually was, or where it was actually coming from, or what health privilege, or what health how it helped you, like
Benefits.
how does this help you, right? So it was very unrelaxing. Like when I'll never go back. because I was like, yeah, it was weird. I was like, hey, I don't want to be yelled at and stuff. So
Yeah, of course. No, that's a really interesting take on it. And then, I mean, even just spending the last half an hour talking to Grace, I can almost guarantee you she's not that person who's going to be screaming
no,
at.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. Robert, welcome. We're got about 10 minutes or so left, but we're just in the middle of kind of talking about each other's business and stuff. I just want to give Grace a quick minute just to reciprocate to Jason. If you were knowing what you know about Jason's tour, what would you be looking for? What do you think would be fantastic and a great experience?
Mm. Yeah, well, I think I met Jason on a call earlier this year because your fishing boat sounds familiar with your business plan and stuff. I I think it sounds pretty cool. And I was like, I would be so interested, but I'm so bad on the water. I cry, I vomit, I throw up, I get seasick. But I think for me, and the one of the questions I asked was if it's a whale watching tour, what is the likelihood or percentage of times you would actually see a whale? So if it's like mating season between, I don't know, April to July, you're guaranteed 90% to see whales. Or 100%, I don't know, because I'm Ontario, so we don't know anything about oceans and that kind of stuff. And so just more about I think your territory or your region.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's migrating season, so people actually come here just to see whales.
Oh,
That's why they come
okay.
in the come between now and August is because humpbacks, gray whales, and the orcas, it's common. Like they swim right past my property all day long. So
Oh,
it's
wow. And they're going north or south?
they're going south.
Oh, okay. To warmer
Yeah.
waters.
Yeah.
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 Okay. That's what I actually went to Washington, D.C. to go watch a hockey game. And I didn't know we had just arrived 2 weeks too early for cherry blossom season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. We need to come back later in the year. But yeah. Yeah, I think you're on the right track. And just as somebody who's not, I'm on small lake, so my marine life is different than the ocean.
The,
So yeah, just like ocean safety and
yeah. You know what's funny is you brought
territory.
something good point up though, because where we are in the Discovery Islands, it's not like it's actually I know I've seen it on other actually I should put that on my site. I didn't actually think of that. But I see it on other sites, but because we're in the Discovery Islands, we are far from open ocean. So we are very small in weight. Like to be seasick would be it would be pretty hard because the biggest waves are like in October, December, January, February. So the biggest waves
Mhm.
we get in summertime are like maybe 2 feet, like are the maximum sort of deal, but you're not on the water. Like you wouldn't be on the water in there because it's just I don't know. I wouldn't want to watch whales when I was doing this either. Like it would just be
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? It'd be like, okay, okay.
That could maybe end up on your frequently asked question page, Jason. Will I get
Yeah.
sick? And just
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
just write all of it out. Yeah.
you don't run
Yeah,
your boat
that's
in October or November, December?
I do like I do like because because I've taken like a whole bunch of courses like like small vessel operation procedures and like things that you need to like run a ferry sort of deal. I kind of overdid it. Like I didn't have to take these courses, but I took courses that were like really like in depth sort of deal because I do fish in October, I do fish in January, February, so I fish in big ocean and my wife freaks out when I go out in the middle of winter by myself. So she made me take these courses. So now I'm like really comfortable with like going out in like big, like I'm really comfortable doing it. So like I fish and stuff because fishing's better in the winter. Like that's the weird thing is that fishing's way better in the winter here than it is anytime in the summer. So like in the winter I catch at
Okay.
least 40-50% more fish.
Oh,
So
wow. Yeah,
yeah,
I
so
think that would
it's
be good to add to your website as well, because I know in my region, all the boats get put away Labor Day weekend
yeah,
and they come out May long weekend, give or take,
yeah,
depending on the weather.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
here
our
it's
boating season is very short.
Yeah, that's because it's for here it's all year round and the fisheries in from October to February, like all the big fisher boats, like everybody goes out and crabbing and like prawning are like huge at that time of year. Like right now, everybody was prawning right now because it's nice weather. But the one gentleman I talked to, he had 24 traps out and he caught 4 prawns for like 48 hours. He soaked his pots and they had 4 prawns. Like, I don't want to bring customers out and haul up 24 pots and like have 4 prawns. Like, it's just like
Is that good or not
it's
good?
everybody. Yeah, it's everybody right now because everybody thinks it's good fishing right now. And I'm like, it's the salmon are running, but we can't fish the salmon. It's catch and release only. So if you catch a Chinook, you catch a sockeye, you catch a chum, you're throwing them back in the water because it's non-retention. So you're not allowed to keep them, period. So you're halibut fishing, you're lingcod fishing, you're rock fishing. So you're anchoring, you're constantly on the boat, stopping, jigging. And so that's trying to maintain that level is what people really want. But then the whales come by as you're there. So it's an easy getaway because I can anchor the boat and then we can literally watch whales come by us as we're fishing. So that's kind of
Mm.
my leeway where if you don't catch fish, at least you'll see whales. Like it's kind of like my backup plan, you know what I
And the
mean?
and the whales won't bother you?
No, no.
No? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that's my thing. It's my hardest thing is going to be how do I implement this in the winter? How do I get people to come out in the winter? That's going to be my biggest challenge, I think, is that's going to be my biggest challenge. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, the ocean waters stay warm into October, a little bit longer, and they're colder in the spring. But I would, if you're looking at taking people out into the winter, there's got to be a why. Why? Like, is it a certain migratory, are certain things migrating at that time? Do you have oh, December 15th to January 30th, we have porpoises going through or whatever. So if you kind of thought something like that, or even bird migrations, if you've got a lot of small islands around,
yeah.
you can look at migratory birds and stuff too. I would look at things like that, or if there's a certain thing you can fish at that time, or um, a certain path you can go through where you could stop and get a hot chocolate somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of look
Yeah,
at a
it's good.
different experience.
Yeah, yeah, like we have like major sea kayaking and they shut down. Like come
Yeah.
on, they're done. Like they in October they finish. They just don't open. They
Because
shut
the
down
water
right away.
temperature. Yeah, we do the same.
Yeah, so yeah, it'd be hard. Like definitely be a challenge. So I definitely have to come up with some sort of I got to figure that out. You're definitely thank you for that actually, because that's actually a good idea. I should probably look into that.
Well, Grace mentioned sightseeing tours, so yeah, just a boat ride. Have just a little bit of a different experience, whether it be a campfire when you get back, or like I said, a hot chocolate somewhere.
Yeah,
Um, just something that's not dependent, where people don't mind getting all cozied up in something warm and have a nice
yeah.
calm little boat ride along some inlets, caves.
Yes. Well, this and again too, this is all dependent on my other boat. Like it's right now, I wouldn't go out in the boat that I have now. Like, well, I do. I go fishing in the boat that I have now, but no, I don't think anybody else would be an open boat in the middle of winter would want to come out and be like, yeah, it's -6 out. We're still fishing.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
absolutely. That's interesting. Now Robert's had to go again. He said he was on a meeting anyway. And we're at about 4 minutes to 2 o'clock. Does anyone have any last questions or thoughts or anything to add? If not, I'm going to put out there that for your operations, going back to that theme, make sure you have checklists for everything that you need to do. Whether it's on your phone or like for your safety checks, for your weather checks, for your, oh, I need to check, anything like that, any of your safety checks, any of your timings, make a checklist for things that need to be cleaned, things that need to be purchased. If you have to have a special cleaner for your sauna or for your boat, make sure you know where it's available and when you can get it, just to kind of don't make an extra trip into town because you've run out of something that you absolutely need. So you want to factor all that in, like city runs and that sort of stuff. And automate things, automate as much as you can. It's getting easier and easier to do that with AI, to automate different systems. And it's, we waste a lot of time rewriting the same thing or re-saying the same thing. So, yeah, Grace, you look like you wanted to say something. Yeah. Now you're muted, but I thought just when I was starting to talk, I thought you looked like you wanted to say something. You're good?
Oh, right. I was just, can you help me refresh what step 3 and 4 is? I'm alumni, so I'm like, oh, I did these paper works a while ago.
I'm trying to find the right reading, unless you have it on the tip of your tongue there, Gina. 3 and 4 are
Brand stories.
brand
go ahead.
stories and your platforms, like your guest and host platform, kind of your operations. And then 4 is getting into your physical design and your brand stories and what your whole the guest experience, what it's going to come out as. So 3 is kind of your planning, your platforms, like we were talking about. How are you doing your bookings? What does your guest see? How are you building things into your operations, your day in the life? So it's kind of organizing and developing your operation front end and back end. And then, so that's 3. 4 is kind of making sure everything, your physical design matches your brand story and what you want it to be. And all about your guest experience and pricing a little bit. We take that in, sustainability. Your physical design. And then 5 is when we go into all of our fun stuff, our pricing and things like that. Which, so all the different things.
Fantastic. Yeah, this has been a great session, folks. And hopefully you've got some takeaways, and it's good to refresh. Grace, you can always go backwards anytime to watch a video, to review a worksheet. Because as you're just getting ready to launch, I'm sure some of your ideas this year might have been different from 2 years ago. You know, things evolve in a good way. But even just looking or listening to another video might be helpful in refreshing where you're at. Lots of resources. Kim's put her email there if you want to contact her. I'm sure that's exactly why she did that. I did put a link for a
questions or anything.
I did put a link for a marketing presentation on Fair Harbor. If you want to check that out, Grace, we do have those. And you can check out any of our other recordings that might be helpful on different reservation systems as well. TripAdvisor and things like that. It all depends what you need to use it for. But yeah, we're coming to a close here, and I'm so thankful that you showed up and shared so much of your stories. This is really helpful for our connections going forward. And thank you very much, Kim, for your insights and for your resources that are very helpful as we do this dynamic kind of learning. We problem solve. Jason, I'm sure you're going to get to a solution to your situation so you can move forward.
Exciting times ahead for you. Yeah, absolutely. I think
I have one question.
Yeah.
I have one question that I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. So I've dealt with these NEDC people. I don't know who I know who they are now that I've done some research and stuff like that. Is it rude of me to ask them like where am I? Because I've done it like 1,000 times, and they're very short with me. Like their emails are very short, and it's like they don't want to give me information. And I've given them a lot of information, like personal information, like my bank. They yesterday they wanted my bank account and all that, but they didn't give me a reason why. I'm like, dude. So is it rude of me to
they need that
email
information.
and say,
if they're setting up payments, they need your bank information for payments, and that's where they make your deposit to.
I don't know that though.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they like I don't know nothing. So like I don't want to be rude about it, but I want to be like, hey
do you have
man,
a contact person there? Like do you have one
yeah,
person?
he's the one who's been contacting me, but he's very short. Like he's very like he doesn't want to give me information or something. Like I don't know how to like because I've emailed like a long paragraph and I got like a 2 sentence reply and no clarification. And I'm at a point where I'm kind of frustrated where I'm just like, dude, I'm gonna be rude because you're not helping me on my
What
situation
about
right
getting
now.
like a list? It sounds like he's a concise person, which a lot of banking type people are. What about
Yeah.
making a list? Just saying, I have a few questions I need answered. 1,
Yeah.
this, 2, this. And that way you'll get the answer specific and just be very specific. Don't be long-winded on them because like I
Okay.
said, from what you're telling me, I think he likes it. Oh, he's asked this question, fired off, bam, and it's off your table, right? So just give him a list and just start with, I start with, it's almost like, oh, I'm feeling a little, it's the vulnerability thing of, I have not gone through this experience before. And I feel like I'm missing some information, and these are some specific questions I have. And is
Yeah.
there an opportunity to set up a Zoom call or a half-hour phone call that I can discuss some of the information I feel I'm missing, if required, or that sort of thing? Yeah, I would do something like that. But start with
Okay.
like a list of specific questions, then it's just not kind of going back and forth.
Okay, so keep it just simple, like I just, cause yeah, like it's just cause it's stopping me from starting, like it's stopping me from everything right now because I'm like, it's gonna change like so much that I'm like, oh, if I do it now and I launch right now and this all of a sudden comes in, I'm gonna be in a mess. It's gonna turn into a mess. And I'm like, okay, I can't, I don't want to start off in a mess. I just need this stuff answered so that I can start.
Yeah, so just say you're running on some timelines because we're running into tourism season.
Okay, timelines. Okay, that's the word I'm looking, running into
Yeah.
timelines. That's a good sentence. Okay, I'm gonna use
Yeah.
that.
And then just
Okay.
some questions you need answered and yeah,
Okay.
what stage are we at? How many stages are there? That sort of thing.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
That was the perfect
Good.
sentence. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, everyone have a lovely day.